Alright lads and lasses, welcome along. Let's review what we've done in the last couple of days. So we started by connecting to the Johns Hopkins dataset on their website, on their GitHub site. From there, you're able to connect up, pick any files you want, pull them down either into Excel now or Power BI, and then you can start to build and get some real intelligence out of it. And from the intelligence that we could gather just from looking at that, we can actually start to really see what's going on within the COVID-19 crisis that we're having at the minute. So every day, all I need to do now is come into my data, open my report pack up, and all I have to do to find out and get the latest data set is to go in and hit refresh. It's not that difficult, is it? So I go in, hit refresh, see it's going to go, connect up to everywhere, download the latest versions, tell me it's all done, and we're champion. What's also been possible is to put in a basic forecast tab. So on the forecast tab, we've put the confirmed cases by date, and then I've added just another 10-day forecast on it. So what's going to happen over the next 10 days, do we think? And the idea of this is that you can start to see for the places that are starting to flatten that curve, starting to make a difference, where lockdown's really having a good positive impact on their lives. If we look at China, who've been really ahead of it, they're probably coming out of it now, they're starting to remove lockdown restrictions, we can see the way that's come down. And that forecast line, the highest probability is for it to be flat, but of course it could always go up. If we look at somebody else now, someone else there, so let's look at Germany. How's Germany doing? See, they're definitely starting to make a difference. So they're now talking today about removing lockdown restrictions, starting to loosen things up a bit. You can see they're in a good place to do that. They're starting to make that difference. We can see the data supports that decision. If we look now at the UK, you see my disappointment, my crushing disappointment. War UK line is still going straight up. And worse than that, we've got 95,000 cases in the UK, or confirmed cases to date. So what I wanted to do today was take you through what I did to get to this point. But what I want to make you aware of is if I look in here, you can see I've made a little table here. We'll show you how to make a measures table in the future. But I hope you can see at the core of it, I've still just got these three measures. I've got a deaths measure, I've got a confirmed measure, and I've got a recovered measure. That's all I've got. From them three, I've built latest ones, and these are just to pick what's the latest date value that we've got. So we can see the latest confirmed, or latest deaths, and the latest recovered figures as well. Really easy, really simple stuff. And as you can see, it's all about being additive. All of these measures are additive. So once I've got my basic measures, I can keep adding to it. I can keep making it better. I can keep improving on what I've done today for what I'm going to do tomorrow. So coming back into it, if we're going back to a home tab and we're going to click transform the data, that's how you got to do it in Power BI. Let's have a look at the measures. Let's have a look at what we've brought in. So no doubt you'll see there's an awful lot more tables here than the basic three that we started with. What I've done as well, because we'll just focus on these global ones for now. So we've got the global recovered, global deaths, global confirmed. I've took you through how to build those, make them work properly for you. What I've then done is I've built just a geography table for each of them. All that's doing is we know we've got the combined key for each of those data sets. So that's the region, and if applicable, we've put a country, the state with it as well. Because everything's going to be mapped based on latitude and longitude, that's great for us. But this gives us a really good way that we can start to build up a data set and make the geography distinct for it. From there, I've pulled them three together into a global version and then removed the duplicates. Strictly speaking, each of them three geo tables should be exactly the same. So the duplicate removal shouldn't be necessary, but just in case something sneaks into one of them that's not in the others, I thought we'll do all three and then we can cleanse that. And then lastly, we've got an all geo one where we're pulling that in with the US data as well. What that means is that when I look at my data set properly, and we go in, we have a quick look here at the global map, what you can see is that in the US we've got a real richness of data, but we can also see it across the world. We've got everywhere that we've got data points, we've got it appearing, so we can really start to see actually what's going on within the world. The last thing I've done is I've just put a filter on here just to remove the null values. Now it's very unlikely that there's going to be anywhere that's got a latitude of 0 exactly, so we've just removed anything that's got a latitude of 0. So once you've done that kind of cleansing on a map level, you've got a really good map. You can zoom in, you can have a look, you can see what's going on. And I've even put in a tooltip, so as you hover over it, it'll kind of give you a last 28 days picture of what's going on. And we can see from some of these, as we hover over them, you can actually start to get a picture of what's going on. So we can see here for France, their data for the day, they've dropped down. So that's a negative count for the confirmed change. They're actually dropping. So something's happened where they've misclassified 7,000 people, or they've said 7,000 people, adjusted the numbers. But you can start to see what's happening, that we're getting to the point that we can really start to understand the data set much more, but it's all come just through us connecting to those CSV files on that there interweb. It's great, isn't it? So if we come back to here, I've got my old geo table now where everything's pulled together. I've got my old COVID table where everything's being pulled together for that. And I've just added a data set once. We've got whether it's from the global data set or the US only data set. We're not using it at the minute in the reporting, but it's nice to have it there in case we decide we want to in the future. The last thing we've got, and this is one of the most important tables that you'll build and that you'll start to use in Power BI, and that's your date table. So dates, calendars, really important to you. You won't find a Power BI course that doesn't mention building a calendar table, using a calendar table, getting a consistent set of dates. It's the most important dimension table you will ever build. This is a copy one that I've got. I really forget where I got it from originally. I've made a few tweaks to it. I'll keep working on it, I'm sure, and I'll keep evolving it. I'd recommend you get one yourself that you can take with you, as it were, on in your little box of tricks. You keep using them. Once you get up to an enterprise level and you're building an enterprise analytics platform, chances are you'll have a date table built in a SQL or something along those lines. But for the sake of this and for the sake of your sanity, I'd recommend having a copy of one. So I hope you guys have enjoyed just a quick introduction to Power BI. Over the coming weeks, I'm hoping to do lots more videos of this. I've got a huge back catalogue of super user sessions that I've done. I'm aiming to do 2 videos a week. I thought we'd do something for the weekend, on Friday hopefully, and I'm ideally hoping I can get something up with a Tuppence Tuesday, where we can talk a little bit more about just the theory behind some of it. Let us know, give us some feedback, and I'll catch you people later. Cheers, and remember, stay indoors and stay safe.